Welcome. Can I have a motion to call the meeting to order?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If everybody wouldn't mind remaining standing for a moment of silence for Joanne Gerler, a longtime John Marshall teacher who sadly passed away last week.
God bless him.
Thank you. Tonight is our big and usually long reorganizational meeting, so we'll move on to the reorganizational agenda.
Okay, welcome everybody to the East Hampton Reorganizational Meeting. I'm Brian Georgiotti, the district's counsel. We have 3 board members who were reelected to their positions this year. Sandra Vorpal, JP Foster, and Justina Marolonius. JP and Justine are not here tonight, but Sandra is, and that means I will swear you in so that you can continue your term as a member of the school board. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Sandra Vorpal,
I, Sandra Vorpal,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties as a member of the Board of Education of the East Hampton Free School District
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Okay. And the next order of business now will be to elect the school board officers for the coming year. We have the position of president and vice president. So we'll begin with the position of president. And do I hear any nominations from the board for a member to be the president for the coming year?
I move to nominate JP Foster and president,
President.
And I
just
second.
president.
Okay. We have a nomination for president. Anyone else wish to nominate any other board members for the position of president? Okay, then we'll go ahead. JP is the sole nominee, but we still have to vote. So do I hear votes in favor of JP Foster for president of the Board of Education? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, then the ayes have it. The president of the board will be JP Foster for the coming year. The next board officer position is vice president. Do I have any nominations for the position of vice president?
I nominate Christina DeSanti.
I second.
Do I have any other nominations for any other board members for vice president? Okay, then we have Ms. DeSanti. All in favor of Ms. DeSanti as vice president of the board for the coming year, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Ms. DeSanti, you are officially the vice president, and I can go ahead and swear you into that position right now. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Christina DeSanti,
I, Christina DeSanti,
do solemnly either swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Vice President of the Board of Education of the East Hampton Free School District.
of the office of Vice President of the
Board of
Board of
Education
Education
of the
of the
Hampton,
East Hampton Union Free School District,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You can take the rest of the meeting for
Okay, great, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so number 3, appointment of officers. From the district clerk, excuse me, we skipped, we need, yes.
Can I go home
Mr. Oath of faithful performance to superintendent of schools, Adam S. Fine.
Did I get the vote on that?
Okay, so you want me to do the oath?
Do you want to do it
individually
now?
or-
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'll do that. Okay, then, Mr. Fine, please repeat after me. I, Adam Fine,
I, Adam Fine,
do solemnly either swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Superintendent of Schools of the East Hampton Union Free School
of the Office of Superintendent of Schools of the East Hampton Union Free School District,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you very much. You're sworn in as superintendent.
The other ones all together, is that okay? Do we have to go separate?
It's just Carrie and Deirdre, correct?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it looks like 4 here. Okay,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For different positions.
Gotcha.
So,
But I only have
You have to
to
appoint them, I think you have to.
right, so we have.
All
so
together.
you all- Okay.
Yeah, you can take them all together.
So number 3, appointment of officers. From District Clerk, Carrie Stevens, District Treasurer, Deirdre Herzog, Deputy Treasurer, Carrie Stevens, down to administering the oath. Can I have a motion?
make a motion.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Dee, come on over.
Carrie, I'll start with you as district clerk. Okay, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Carrie Stevens,
I, Carrie Stevens,
do solemnly either swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of District Clerk
of the Office of District Clerk
of the East Hampton Union Free School District
of the East Hampton Union Free School District
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, you're
Thank you.
sworn in as district clerk.
Thank you.
And we'll swear you in as well. Okay, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Deirdre Herzog,
I, Deirdre Herzog,
do solemnly either swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Treasurer of the East Hampton Union Free School District
of the Office of Treasurer of the East Hampton Union Free School District
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
That's it.
Congratulations, Dave.
And that's it.
I'm right here. So number 4, reorganizational appointments from Student Association Activities Treasurers, all the way down to Civil Rights Compliance Officers, Title IX, Section 504, ADA Compliance Officers for the 2022-23 school year. Cindy Allentuck, Director of PPS, and Tiffany Patterson, Director of B&O. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, designations. From number 1, the regular Board of Education monthly meetings with a start time of 6:30 PM as follows, and there's a list of dates for the entire year.
Yeah, so we moved some things around due to, we had October 3rd, we moved because of Yom Kippur, the Jewish holiday. And we had obviously the BOCES at the end, we moved that to a Wednesday again. And that's pretty much, we also did one big meeting in June. Again, if we need to add an additional meeting in June, we will add the meeting.
Yeah.
As we get closer, the end of the year gets kind of a hectic for all the administrators. And kind of this year, we had a very, very short agenda. But if we need to add one, we will add it.
Okay. So this one that we have is current then?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
I just have a quick question. So we only have one meeting in December and one meeting in February as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's typical.
Yeah.
We have all the breaks, the school breaks and stuff too. Then we can always add one if we do.
I just need to, we didn't do a first and a second for number 5.
Oh, okay.
I make a motion.
Second.
Thank you. And that will take us all the way through the designation of registrar and paying agent.
So now we are on number 6, right? Authorizations. All the way from Stephanie Otto, Sarah Smith, and the superintendent of schools to sign drafts from the High School Students Association, Allison Rosowski, Dr. Charles Soriano, and the superintendent of schools to sign drafts for the middle school student activities.
All the way to 7.
Yes, all the way to number 7, authorization to the superintendent of schools to utilize the power of interim appointments between board meetings.
I make a motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And that's the number 6, not number 7, right?
Right,
Yeah.
so now we're on number 7. Yeah, sorry. Number 7, other items, bonding personnel. From bonding personnel all the way to the committees
committees.
on, no, so should we just do through number 8 and then, because we have to add
Yes.
the names? Okay, all the way through, number 8, resolve that the superintendent of schools be the named authorized signature on the Visa credit card for the East Hampton Union Free School District. Can I have a motion?
I make it.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And then number 9, resolve that the following board members will serve on the East Hampton Union Free School District board committees for the 2022 to 2023 school year as follows. Does anyone have a preference? Does anyone want to move? Do we want to keep them the same?
I make a motion that Kerry get a list of.
I have them.
From all the
I
board
have them.
members, 2 are not here. Get a list and then reconcile it, and there's no big deal in my mind that if you're not on a particular committee you want, you can always attend, right?
Okay, so just
So rather
duplicate,
than, right now, us choose what we want to be on, we'll just check off on here and give it
Well,
to
does
Kerry.
anybody, let me ask you a question, does anybody, let's just take it, does anybody want to change the committees that they're on? I'm happy with the committees I'm on.
I'm
fine with
happy,
mine.
I'm fine with mine.
Yes,
I just want, make sure that we get an invitation to all the meetings, because we don't.
Yes.
okay, good.
And then that way you can choose to go or not go.
Yeah, I think,
exactly.
I think so. If we keep the committees as they are right now, and then if we could try, some committees are better than others at sending out invitations and
Right.
reminders every week.
we'll
So
take care of
If
it.
we could just have it like be policy on Monday, just
Right.
That
send
all
out
board members get the,
all board member get invitations to all the meetings for that week.
You got it.
Especially because we switch and we cover for each other too, so that we always have 3. So if somebody can't make it, it's easier to apply all that. Okay. So all in favor of keeping the committees the same?
Aye.
Number 8, other appointments from Sam Schneider as purchasing agent of the district. Way to number 9, resolve that the board approve payment of designated pre-approved facilitators, the professional rate of pay for elementary school evening events authorized by the superintendent of schools and the JMMES principal. Can I have a motion?
Make motion.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 9, miscellaneous items. From resolve that the board approve the school meal rates for the 2022-23 school year, all the way to number 6, resolve that the board hereby authorizes the following service providers for services listed for the 2022-23 and authorizes the board president to sign any associated documents necessary. E-rate strategies all the way to Harriet Hellman. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
I have a question, please. Just knowing, like with inflation and everything like that, we haven't, I had been on that committee before, I haven't seen it for a while. The school meal rates, which are the same, or they're up?
Each meal went up by 15 cents, which is pretty much the maximum of what the state allows.
Okay, so do we expect, I'm just interested in, and we don't have to do it now because we'll have a long meeting, but I do think it would be helpful to have sort of a where we are on the lunch at some point, on the meal program, just like reconciling, are we in the black on it? Are we back in the red on it?
We're in the black, but we have no usable data in my opinion, because for the last 3 years, it's at no cost to everybody.
Right.
So where, like, Adam and Melissa, Karen and I have talked about what is it really going to look like in the fall when we have to go back to getting people to apply for free lunch, when kids have to go back to actually paying for the meals.
Right.
I don't, and given the fact it's been 3 years, I don't think we really have any usable data. We can go back to 2018, but it was a while ago. The world is very different.
Agree.
So, the program runs in the black at the moment. Whether it will continue to run the black in the fall when people suddenly have to start paying for things again is an open question.
And when we gave everybody free lunch,
Well, the federal
Will we-
government, yes.
were we subsidized for that?
Yeah, the federal government picked up the.
And they're
state
not,
federal government,
they're no longer doing that.
correct. The Congress just passed an extension program through the end of the summer, and then that's it. So unless they appropriate additional money to extend the program into the reopening of school come September, families will either have to send in money to pay for meals or apply for free or reduced.
Which we haven't done.
And then based on
Right.
these prices, as we start to assume
Well,
the
that's
cost
what
of
we
that
have.
program, we expect to
that
stay in the
done
black
early.
or
They're
not?
already on.
Okay.
Said he doesn't know. We don't know.
I don't think we have any, I mean, I could guess, but it would just be a guess because we don't have any good data for the last 3 years.
Yep.
Right.
No, the free lunches, and it's specifically speaking of the high school, is so skewed because it was free. That's why we were doing, normally during a high school day, during the last year and a half, she was doing 750 lunches. During a normal pay year, she does 350. So we don't have a relative
Right.
idea. And that was kids taking
Right.
3 or 4 lunches, and you're like, well, we have a lot of growing kids in the district. But they would go back, and there was nothing she could do to try to keep track. We were trying to keep track of what was
Right.
happening.
We can look at it mid-year, but again, you're only gonna have 3 or 4 months of data at that point. And how reliable it will be, people need to get used to the new normal, which is gonna be, they have to pay for it. Maybe eventually things will change, but at the moment.
I just think, I guess I just wanted to bring it up because on a bunch of different levels, I think we're probably gonna be at an inflection point. Like I know Christina's in the business. I know food prices are way, way up. I wanna make sure our kids are still eating. I wanna make sure they don't have to pay too much because a lot of people are still financially pressed. And
that
so,
Whitson's can survive.
and that
If it
Whitson's
doesn't
can
plummet and their-
survive, yeah,
And
and
their
then
costs are up.
yeah, I just think that, and then the third point I want to make is that because we haven't had families applying for free and reduced lunch for a long time, I think that maybe we should make sure that that's like education on that starts this
We're
summer.
gonna have a letter going home to all families saying, explaining that we're back to the applications.
Right.
We're increasing the price. The state has a tool online where you put in your meal service with the best data you can, and it gives you a target of where you need to be selling your meals for, which is how we arrive at these prices. We can just plug them out of the air. Because the tool is designed to pull districts along to make the cost of meals plus the reimbursement that comes cover the actual cost of running the program. With caps on how much you can increase the meal price every year. The prices, seem fair, given the cost that, Whitson's has. Whitson's is comfortable with these prices, Whitson's is comfortable extending the contract, which is, I think, on your agenda a little bit later. And, we'll see, but we just have no realistic data about what it's gonna look like. I know, Melissa shared with me today that she was able to hire some additional people for her program, which will help her revive some of the serving lines that she's had to mothball over the last few years. So we'll see what happens.
Okay,
And we think Whitson's is wonderful. Mainly, probably for other reasons, but one of the reasons is nobody else will bid.
We usually get 2. We usually get 2 companies that bid for
We
it,
do?
and we've had Whitson's for,
And I know,
yeah.
and I hope they can staff, which is.
Right, it's been a struggle for her over the past few years, obviously, and that's impacted us. But like Sam just said, she hired some people, hopefully we the services we were getting back before the pandemic come back, and that we were able to offer so much here at the high school, which we haven't been. I mean, it was great that she was doing all these lunches, but to be honest, they weren't the lunches she used to do. There was no salad bar and things like that, which the kids asked for, and they actually like and consume. I mean, we weren't doing deli sandwiches. I mean, things that really kids buy a lot of. But hopefully, and the only other option down the road, and it's definitely not a time to talk about this, is to go into the self-op business. It's something that we, if the board would want us to discuss and present on that, it's something we can definitely do and come up with data and whatnot. But there's definitely a lot that goes into that.
yeah, I think that we should, as I said, not for tonight, I'm sorry to have taken but I think it was important to have a little bit of a conversation. I think that we should have a conversation about it
I would.
Yeah,
I
we
would
want to
just-
follow it closely.
Yeah, and I would just,
and another discussion. It could be in a subcommittee meeting, an academic, or wherever people want to do it.
I would just encourage families who think they may qualify to be sure to fill out the application. Once the school year begins, you have a month essentially to get onto the program. And if you're not on it within a month, there's no reach back to make, your costs right. There's no harm.
That should be in the
filling out
letter.
application.
Read.
If you're on the bubble and you're not sure, fill it out and we'll communicate with the families
Okay,
where they
right.
stand. But we
Yeah.
encourage anybody who has a food need to fill out the application and see if they qualify.
Do we get subsidized for giving free lunches to qualified people?
Yes, so essentially what happens is you are reimbursed by the state and federal government at a certain rate for what we call paid meals, that's when the student is paying cash, or at a higher rate when the student is free. So essentially it comes in at the end where you could potentially make more money for your program for students who are on free lunch, because the government reimburses at a higher rate. But yes, we are paid for our student meals, and the definition of student meals is very complicated, what's in it, what's not in it, how many components.
Yeah,
they
they
have
have to
to
have certain, yeah.
But, the free and reduced program exists for a reason. People who think they may qualify should certainly apply. Students' anonymity is protected. It's a very fair system, and it's there to make sure students don't have to be on.
You just need to wrap it up.
So what we already
We already
You
voted
just
on
have to
that.
say all in favor. You
We
did.
already did that.
yeah.
We said aye, I just came in.
We can do it again. All in favor?
Aye.
She asked the question
I asked
after.
a question after.
Okay, so now we're just moving on to the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Can I ask a question about, there's a gentleman that now we no longer have, as a, going to replace him, I'm looking for it.
Tech facilitator, tech?
Yes,
Yes, we're gonna replace.
we got to replace,
We are trying to get one.
right.
Yeah, he would, unfortunately had to move due to distance and got a job closer to home.
Yep.
He was excellent, and I wish him the best, but we will be replacing that position. Our team needs that. That's a vital position.
And that has to go off of the civil service.
Yeah,
That's a
civil service, right?
position. Okay, superintendent's report and recommendations. Number one, recommended that the board approve the following resolution. Resolve that the Board of Education of the East Hampton Union Free School District pursuant to Rule 14 of the
What page
Suffolk.
are we on right now? I'm so sorry.
20.
We didn't adopt the consent agenda.
Yes.
Sorry. I don't think you did.
Really?
I don't think we did.
All in favor?
Aye.
You guys are confusing me tonight.
Ominous
Because we're doing it
start
out
to
of
this
order
year.
than we normally do.
Well, no, yeah, it's a
It's
little
different.
Little
Yeah,
new.
it's very
Yeah.
different than.
Although we love the difference. We just have to
Right.
we love the difference. We just have to get used to it.
So superintendent's report and recommendations. Number one, recommended that the board approve the following resolution. Resolve that the Board of Education of the East Hampton Union Free School District pursuant to Rule 14 of the Suffolk County Civil Service Commission, upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, does hereby appoint Danielle Epstein to the position of school nurse for a probationary period of 26 weeks, commencing August 31st, 2022, and is to be paid an annual salary of $93,613. Step 14 RN of the salary schedule attached to the Teachers Association's collective bargaining agreement. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I second.
Replacement.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number two.
And I believe she's here, right?
Oh,
She's here?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Number two, recommended that the board approve the following contracts agreements for the 2022 to 2023 school year as follows. All the way from number one, resolve that the consultant agreement between East Hampton Union Free School District and Jacqueline Darvin, all the way to resolved that the board approve memorandum of understanding between East Hampton Union Free School District and Stony Brook Southampton Hospital for the purpose of cooperative services in the event of a local or regional disaster for the 2022-23 and 23-24 school year in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth in said agreement.
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 3, recommend that the board approve the following resolution. Resolve that the Board of Education of the East Hampton Union Free School District hereby accepts the administrative review conducted by the New York State Education Department Child Nutrition Program Administration dated May 16th, 2022. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education hereby directs East Hampton Union Free School District Administration to address the 4 technical items identified in the report. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
New business,
New business.
no old business.
Okay.
So there are 2 things in new business. Building walkthroughs to the board are going to be Friday, August 26th. We did them last year. This year, we'll start again at the elementary school, and I'll send out a time. Kerry will send out a time when we're ready to do that. Also, this just in, there are some new guidelines on board meetings. Obviously, we will continue to stream our board meetings, but we need to conduct in-person board meetings. There's no, you're only allowed to, Zoom in due to extenuating circumstances if you're a board member. And Brian, please jump in. We also have to, what do we have to do?
First, you would have to develop a policy that governs the conduct of any meeting where any member of the board appears virtually from a non-public location like home. So first you have to do a policy, then you'd have to hold a hearing on the policy, and the policy would have to cover a myriad of different requirements that are now applicable to those types of meetings. If all board members are here and present, then you can do things the same way that you've always done it, live stream it the same way that you always have. But if any individual board member wants to participate and vote from home virtually, that opens up a whole new can of worms that we'd have to address.
So
We're not able to do that.
You can.
Well, I mean, right now, unless we
You'd have to do a policy
Do a lot of
first and,
loops and,
yeah.
well, I'm opposed to doing that.
It would only really become an issue if we didn't have a quorum one time, because we
Yes.
had a few people that were away combined with somebody being ill or injured or something else where
Yeah.
they couldn't.
So it's something that you would have to prepare for. If you ever had the need to do it, you would have to prepare in advance to do it, just in case the eventuality ever arose.
But also reschedule the meeting.
Or you could reschedule.
Yeah,
Right.
That's right.
yeah, we usually 9 times out of 10 we can do that.
And it is very clear from the state directive that we cannot allow call-ins to ask questions. Is that correct?
my understanding, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but comments and everything needs to be in person.
Well, if you did,
If we left our meetings as in-person meetings, so the public has always asked
Yeah. You can
during
do
COVID,
you can do the same way you've always done it.
we do not have to change, you're saying?
No.
Okay, if we,
For public meetings that are simultaneously live streamed.
Right.
Yeah.
so what we're doing right now, we could still do
You
the
can
phone
keep-
calls
you
and
can keep
everything
doing
the
it.
same way.
Yeah. The only changes you'd ever have to make is if one or more members ever needed to participate or vote from home.
Right.
But if all the members come in, or if you have a quorum come in, you can continue doing meetings exactly the way you're doing it tonight and the way you've done it for the last few months.
So if someone wants to call in, they can call in.
Yes.
As long as we're doing it.
As long as it's in person.
Oh, good.
Gotcha, okay.
Complicate it even more.
Yeah, public comment.
Yeah. Do we have any callers for public comment?
There are no callers on the line.
And I have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, thank you.